Talat, having Bushra and Ayla, I think they had such inspiring stories. And what did you learn, Talat, from them?
Honestly, if I wish I had at their age, I had half the wisdom they have and half the
Yeah.
self-awareness. Honestly, I found them incredibly mature for their age, and quite honestly, if this is what our young Asian women out there are like, I think we have an amazing future as women working. So, hats off to both of them. I think I enjoyed the fact that they spoke about their vulnerabilities, about
Huh.
their, what they've learned from life, their reflections, the whole thing around the EQ, self-awareness, acknowledging, and just their the spark and the energy and the wanting to create impact. God, I think I'm incredibly inspired even after all these years. So amazing. What about you, Friha?
When I think of them, two words came to my mind: wisdom and stature. And typically, it is associated with people who are above 60, above 50, they've achieved so much. But when I think of them, I said, okay, they are so wise, they have the stature, and they know how to express themselves, which is amazing. So I think it was lovely to have them, and we wish them all the best in their career or their personal life. We have a question, Talat. So I thought let's just discuss that. So it's a question from someone who is working in a bank, and she said that you know how it is perceived, particularly here in Pakistan, that people go in groups in the financial sector. So if one person joins the bank, typically others follow. So she said that her boss, who was recently hired, recruited someone from his previous organization, and the additional layer of management has been added. So now she's reporting to this individual who reports into the boss, and she is very demotivated. She, in fact, thought of quitting the job, but it's not easy. It's not easy when you don't have another job. So, what advice would you give her?
Um, I'm not really clear on what is so hard about the situation. Bosses and structures, quite honestly, change very often. And one day, you're really getting on with your boss and you love him or her, and the next day they move somewhere else and or there's been another layer added, and suddenly somebody who could be your peer, you're reporting to them. So in organizations and structures, and Fariha, you know this as well as I do, the structure does keep changing. I think is it a she? Is it a lady? Yeah. So I think what she needs to continue to do is focus on what she's doing, focus on how she's contributing, continue to focus on the contribution that she's making. And if she continues to do that, she will, whether it's a new boss, a new kind of boss, somebody who just promotes himself or herself, or whoever that kind of boss is, other people will notice in time. So I think don't stop doing what you're doing. And this is all part of this is all part of adjustment. It's all part of dealing with a different kind of boss. My daughter said, oh, my old boss used to be amazing. She did this and we had a great relationship, and now I've got a new boss. I'm not so sure. I'm like, what? Suck it up. This happens in life. Okay. You learn to deal with different kinds of people. So it's really important, in fact, that you're dealing with tough people, because life is like that. So sorry, that's what I think. That's what I would do.
I think there's a little bit more to it, because she worked on it and setting up the department, and then all of a sudden she feels there's somebody there. I think my view would be it's very natural to feel that way. We all, whenever there's a change, as you're saying, a change of boss, it's a new dynamic, and especially when you feel that an additional layer has been added, you feel that you may not be given the same level of exposure. You don't really understand the why. Actually, it's natural to feel that way. But the intelligent thing to do, two things in my view: one, not to stay in that situation. You feel, you acknowledge, okay, fine, it's not natural, this situation, but I have to move on because the destiny is in your hand. So recognizing the inner potential that one has. Number two, use it to your advantage. understand why are you in this role and what is it that you want to get out of this role, and who can help you. And absolutely right, Talat, I'm not going to add, but I completely agree on the relationship part. So with that, Talat, we are going to wrap up our show, and I've got a quote which I like to share, and I tell you what it is. It's not what you are that holds you back. It's not what you are that holds you back. It's what you think you're not.
I love that.
And if you think, our guests today, really, they have challenged their limiting beliefs. They've truly depicted that, the destiny is in your control. So the minute you think you cannot be this, you cannot work late hours, you cannot do this, really nothing is going to happen.
Yep. Nothing is impossible.
So with that, totally. With that, thank you so much for watching The Other Side with Fariha and Talat.